Hello everyone, I'm the old guy and welcome back to my tutorial series of Patrician 3. And in this episode I want to talk about an advanced trading route, an advanced automated trading route, and get your trading offices involved in the trading. In the last episode I went through a basic trading route, and you can use that method to get enough reputation in a town where you can actually build a trading office. It doesn't take that long, maybe about 10 or 15 trades, and you should have enough reputation to be able to build a trading office in the town. So once you do that, you build a trading office. So I have set up a scenario here in Visby. We have a trading office ready to go. And I set one up here in Statin. We have a trading office here ready to go as well. We also have a ship ready to go, the tutorial ship right here, ready to go to do some trading between the two towns. So the first thing I do when we have a trading office is we set the trading office up. So first thing to do is get an administrator. We're going to hire the administrator, and that unlocks the trading office here. And then all I do is I just turn everything on. Let's turn everything on. And if this is the first trading office that you're doing, I would suggest that you set all of these prices right away before you move on. I'll leave a link in the description below to a website that has some good starting prices. Now, the website's not perfect, and every game is a little bit different depending on supply and demand. So these prices may vary, but this is a good starting. And this is what I am doing in my current Let's Play, is the selling prices of the stuff that I have. Now, it's not perfect. There may be some mistakes in here, but you get the idea. Part of the fun of the game is adjusting these prices until you find the right mix. The next thing I do is I take a look at the town and see what they're effectively making. So Visby here is making cloth, honey, pottery, and wool. So what I want to do is go back into the trading office and start buying cloth, honey, pottery, and wool. Now with the smaller barreled items, I usually go with 20 to start with. 20 and 20 and 20 here. Now, if you have a smaller ship, you may want to leave wool out, but usually I start with just one. Now, as the game progresses, you may want to replace these with your own factories. I have a weaving mill right here, and I have a sheep farm right there, so I can just sell it straight to the town. But for this demonstration, I'm going to leave this running. And you can also click this to save at least this amount, so it's going to save one for the factories. So if my ship comes in and wants to pick up wool, it will not give anything below 1. It will always keep 1 here. If I put 10 here, it will always keep 10 in the storage, so my factories have something to take. Let's just reduce this to 1, and we're going to turn this off right now because we're pretending this is the beginning of the game and I don't have any of these. So now that our trading office in Visby is set up, let's go do the same thing here in Statin. So for Statin, we're going to employ an administrator, and then we're going to the trading office, and we're going to turn everything on here as well. We're going to sell everything to the town. Oh, I can click right. And again, here are my prices, and I will leave a website link in the description below for some starting prices. And if you change it once, like let's say if I change this to 50 and then I go back to Visby here, and if I click on this to 50, well, let's change this back to 55. Let's go back to Statin here, and if I just cycle through, you see it's 50 right now. If I just cycle through, 55. It remembers the last price you put in. So setting these prices right off the bat when you're starting the game is a great idea. So like with Visby, the second thing that we do is we take a look at the town. And Statin here, beer, fish, grain, hemp, salt. So let's go back into here. And we are going to buy beer, grain, hemp, what is it, salt, or was something else? Beer, fish, grain, hemp, salt. So fish as well. Trading office and fish. Now again, I'm going to set these to 20 just to start with. Now beer is pretty popular. You may want to buy more than beer. And here's some large items. These three are large items. If you have a small ship, you may want to skip these, but I'm going to click on 1 for these. And then for salt, I'm going to go for 20 to start with. Now again, remember that these prices and these can be changed at any time, and you can change them to meet your needs. So now that we have the towns buying the stuff that they create, and technically they should be buying it at a cheap price because they are creating those items in town. Now we need to set up a ship to deliver the goods back and forth. And this is the trick that I use. So let's first of all select a town. We're going to select Visby as the first one, because that's where we're going to start with, Visby. And then I'm going to go with Statin. I'm going to put in another Statin. And then finally, we're going to put up Visby again. So I have 2 of each town set up in this way. Now, I'll explain to you why I do this here in a second, but let's go into Visby's goods. And for Visby, we are going to set everything up. We are going to transfer from the office everything that it has here. So let's go for 10 here. 1. No, we do 20, right? Let's do 20. That's what we're setting it up with. 20 for the barreled items and 1 for the loads. So go to 20 and then 1, 1, 1, 20, 20. Just make it as easy as you possibly can, and then you can adjust it later as you fine-tune. $20, 21, 20, 21. So there is our basic setup. We're just taking everything. And right now I'm just going to make a template and show you how to do this. I'm just going to make a blank template. So this we are going to pick up our normal amount. So 20 for the barrels and 1 for the loads. Pick up everything. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to go to Statin and we're going to do the same thing. We are going to pick everything up and we're going to put it at max. We're going to pick everything up in the Statin. And the reason I do this is to maintain the amount of product that's in the warehouse. So we're going to pick up everything we're going to trade in Visby. Then we're going to go to Statin and we're going to pick up everything that's inside of its trading office. Then what we're going to do is we are going to transfer back into the office the amounts that we have given. So 20 here, 1, 20, 1, 1, 1, 20, 1, 1, 20, 20, 1, 20, and 1. So let's go through this here real quick. So we are picking up, let's say we're just concentrating on beer here. So we are picking up 20 beer from Visby. Then we're going to pick up whatever's left over from the trade from the last time. So if we sell 5 in Visby and there's 15 left, they're going to pick up the 15 and add it to the 20, so they have 35 in the whole. Then what they're going to do is they're going to jump the 20 back in. So there always is going to be a maximum of 20 beer being delivered, and they're going to take the rest that's left over if they don't trade back to Visby. And then the last thing I want to do is I want to dump everything off, transfer to the office, everything in the ship and just empty it. And that is our basic trading route now. So what I would suggest to do now is we save this. So then you hit the file here, and we are going to save this as tutorial. Tutorial. And we're going to save that. Okay, so now we have a blank setup that we can do, and you can add this to any town, and you just change. If Visby is your home base, then you can just change this to any town that you want, and it'll still work. We want to look at Statin, sorry. And it's for Statin, we got beer, fish, grain, hemp, and salt. So we don't want to deliver beer, fish, grain, hemp, and salt to Statin because they are making that. But we want to pick up everything else. And then here, what we also don't want to pick up any beer, fish, grain, hemp, and salt because they are creating it still. And we are just picking up everything else so we can maintain the order in it. And now here is where we want to transfer it. So transfer, but we want to transfer the max amount. Beer, fish, grain, hemp, and salt. Max. Right there. And then we'll keep this the same. So now this is now set up. Let's turn this on. Now I'm using Visby as my home base. So you want to always set it up as your home base first, or your where you want to trade to, and then everything else. And I want to bring everything that Statin makes back into the trading office. And as you can see, I have a lot of these doing the exact same thing. If I look at this one, you can see it's Visby and Reval. And if I looked at this ship here, Visby going to Riga. So all of these are set up the same. Let's go back into our town and let's turn this one on. And let's see. So it has picked up everything that it has here. And let's speed the game up and let's watch what happens here with this ship. So it has picked up all the stuff that we have in our trading post that it can. We have, here's our stock of goods. And let's see what happens when we drop it off in Statin here. Now, I believe Statin has nothing inside of its holes here. Oh, it does. It has bought in the 20 beer. You see that it's bought in our stuff that we have. So in perfect, if this is working correctly, it should dump all of this off and then pick up what is left here. Should pick up 20 beer, 20 salt, and 1 fish, 1 hemp when it's done. And let's see what happens. Here it is. It should, now it's going to pick up anything that is left over, which there is none. Then it's going to drop everything off, and then it's going to pick up what this town makes, and it's going to bring it back to Visby, and it's going to empty the ship in Visby. And that's a trick. The ships do not do any trading in my games. The trading office trades at all times, and we just keep resupplying this trade route. And as we add towns to our hubs going back and forth, more and more goods are piled up in Visby. So you'll be able to trade pretty much everything that you have with every town. It is a very efficient way of trading, and it's very easy to set up, as you can see. Oh, we have another crier finished here in my game. We're just going to leave this. Now let's see what happens with this. We are going to empty everything out, and then it's going to pick everything back up that we want to trade. So this is going to be emptied. And now we have a blank slate to work with. And it's going to pick up everything available for trade for us. And it's going to head back into Statin. Now let's take a look at Statin here. If there's any leftover supplies, we have, what, cloth? We have 9 cloth. Let's see if we actually sell some of these things. But you will see, if there's cloth, we have 20 cloth here. And there is 7 cloth here. So if we just dumped it, this would continuously climbing up 27. And if we're not selling it all, you could run out of space in your warehouse here and start paying a penalty. But we don't want to. We want to be able to just ignore this and control the amount of goods. Let's check it out what we have here. We have 4 cloth left over here. Let's see what happens. You have 24 cloth because we just picked up what is in the office and added it to the 20, and we dropped everything off, and we have 4 cloth coming back. So you can see that it maintains the 20 cloth. And that right there is the essence of how I do trading, advanced trading in the game. And I will build a complete empire on that premise. With 1 ship. Now, if you want, if this gets too full, especially when you're trading everything back and forth, like when you bring a load in and then you pull everything out of the trading office, make sure you have enough space in your cargo hold. If you don't, you can always add some more ships and make this a convoy and add more ships. And I believe, I don't know if I have one here set up, but let's load another game, a later save here. And you can see that I have pretty much done that. Here is the Statin convoy, right? I've added 4 criers to it, so it increased the cargo hold space. And you can see here it is. I have upgraded the amount. Instead of 20, I put it to 40, and I'm collecting 5 large items. But it's exactly the same setup. You can see here for Raval that I have trading, I have the 4 criers in there, and it is the same setup. They're all the same. Set up the same way. Here in Stockholm, the same setup. So I hope that makes sense. And if there's any questions, please let me know in the comments below and I'll try to answer them. But that is a way I set up an advanced trading route. Thanks for stopping by, and we'll see you soon.